ever wondered why we call white people Caucasian? The answer is surprisingly, heck, you know what this show is about. Most people know the definition of Caucasian as a white-skinned person of European descent, right? Not really. Outside of America, white people generally aren't seen as Caucasian at all. Why? Because almost every country has a different definition for Caucasian, a person from the Caucasus region, which in case you're wondering is actually right over here, with parts of Russia, Georgia, Armenia, Azerbaijan, and northern Turkey. So why has Caucasian become synonymous with all white people? Well, buckle your seatbelts because things are about to get pretty racist. A century before Hitler's rise to power, there was another German man who believed white people were the perfect race, Christoph Meiners, who was one of the earliest adopters of scientific racism. Now hold on, because it's about to get really unscientific. Meiners believed that Caucasians, aka the actual people from that region between Russia and Turkey, had, quote, the whitest, most blooming, and most delicate skin. In fact, he viewed every non-Caucasian race as ugly, inferior, immoral, and animal-like. He also believed people from the Middle East and Asia had little intelligence and were predispositioned to be evil. Then German scientist Johann Blumenbach added to this emerging definition. Blumenbach believed that the Caucasus region was home to the most beautiful race of men, the people of Georgia. And what made the Georgian people so beautiful? Well, this creepy guy had a huge collection of human skulls. And out of the 245, the Georgian skull was his favorite. Did I mention that he had a collection of 245 human skulls? So this weirdo, using no science at all, decided that all of humanity must have come from this region. Spoiler alert, we didn't. He also decided that all light-skinned people from Europe belonged to the same race, Caucasian. Then he split the rest of the world into 4 other races, which he referred to as degenerate forms of God's original creation. Sounds like a fun guy. Those other races were Mongolian, the yellow race, Malayan, the brown race, Ethiopian, the black race, and American, the red race. Blumenbach's racial classifications went on to be adopted by the newly formed United States, because of course it did. It helped our founding fathers justify things like slavery and selective immigration quotas. But that was a long time ago, right? So why does the word Caucasian persist while other old-timey racial categories like Mongoloid and Negroid have disappeared? Well, there seems to be a few reasons that are a little intertwined. In America, there's a long legal history of the word. The Supreme Court has actually used Caucasian in 64 cases, including one from 1928 that is key. During the 1920s, only free whites, or Caucasians, were allowed to become naturalized citizens. In 1928, Bhagat Singh Thind, an Indian man who fought for the US in World War I, tried to become a US citizen by arguing that many anthropologists defined Indians as Caucasians. After a major legal battle, the Supreme Court decided that Caucasian really only meant white Europeans. This decision legally codified the modern American definition of Caucasian as whites with European ancestry. Why else? We don't exactly know for sure, but one reason I think Caucasian is likely stuck around is because of its power. Language is one of the most systematic, subtle, and significant vehicles for spreading racial ideology, and Caucasian implies that white people are different from other racial groups in America. It makes it seem like white people are somehow connected in a way that's not just based on the pigmentation of their skin. It even sounds kind of scientific, even though it's really, really not. So we're used.
Ugh, I hate having a birthday during Black History Month. Why do I only get a day when they get an entire month?
You're so smart, babe.
You know what we really need? We need a White History Month.
Did someone say that there should be a White History Month?
Yeah, how'd you know?
Let me guess, you're not racist or anything, but you just think it'd be better if we didn't have a Black History Month in America at all.
Yeah, pretty much.
Ugh, let's get this over with.
And then Chadwick wins cribbage.
It's Mandy and I. Why are we dressed so lame? And what are those stupid ass shoes? Why is everything so different?
Well, you see, Chad, without Black inventors, our world would have missed out on huge advancements in cell phone technology, gaming consoles, and personal computers. Not to mention important shoemaking techniques, light bulbs that last more than a few days, and delicious, delicious potato chips. A world without Black history is completely different.
Yeah, but all that stuff would have gotten invented anyway.
If all inventions are inevitable, then why celebrate any inventors, Chad?
Wait, where's Grandpa? Grandpa's dead?
Yes. Not only did a Black engineer help invent the pacemaker, but the first successful open heart surgery was done by a Black surgeon, so. But Black history is not just about technology. So, what do you feel like listening to? Classical, Irish step dancing, polka music, an entire crooner station, more classical.
Okay, I see what you're doing here, and just put on Elvis and I'll be good.
Elvis who?
Fine, I walked right into that. Kenny Chesney or something.
Ooh, sorry, dude. Country music has its roots in black R&B, which means a world without black history is a world without country music.
No! This place is lame. Where are we?
Times Square, Midtown Manhattan. Ever heard of it?
Yeah, right. There's more like some boring ass town and some shitty little country or some shit.
Pretty much. Not only was most of early New York City built by African slaves, but without black slaves, the South never developed its labor-intensive cotton and tobacco plantations.
What?
Which means that the North never developed its financial sector or heavy industries meant to support that very same lucrative cotton industry.
What?
It's entirely possible that without the contributions of black Americans, we wouldn't have the money to have made the Louisiana Purchase from France.
What?
The land deal that expanded America's borders and catapulted it into being one of the world's leading food producers, as well as a global leader.
Wait, so you're saying that without black people, most of this country is owned by France?
It's entirely possible.
No! No! Take me back!
I want to go back.
I want to go back!
What month is it?
February.
Specifically.
Black History Month?
Oh, thank God. Happy Black History Month, Grandpa. Happy Black History Month, potato chip. Happy Black History Month, cell phone. Happy Black History Month, hip hop and streetwear apparel. God bless Black History Month.
Black History Month? You just said there should be a white history rule. Okay.
I'm woke now.
Women of color in her acceptance speech, one soap opera actress wasn't too happy. The 2015 Emmy Awards were a big night for black actresses. Uzo Aduba and Regina King both took home Best Supporting Actress awards, but it was Viola Davis and her epic Best Actress speech that brought the house down. First, she started with a quote from Harriet Tubman. "In my dreams, I see a line. Over that line, I see green fields and lovely flowers and beautiful white women with their arms stretched out to me over that line, but I can't seem to get there no how. I can't seem to get over that line." And then she called out Hollywood in the most direct and honest way possible. Quote, "The only thing that separates women of color from anyone else is opportunity. You cannot win an Emmy for roles that are simply not there." End quote. Now to me, that sounds like a call for Hollywood to step it up and create more interesting, complex, and honest roles for women of color, instead of the same old one-dimensional stereotypes that we're used to. But General Hospital actress Nancy Lee Grahn didn't hear it that way. So Nancy Lee took to Twitter to express her disappointment with Viola's speech. Quote, "I'm a actress for 40 years. None of us get respect or opportunity we deserve. Emmy's not venue for racial opportunity. All women belittled." End quote. Can you tell how I feel about that tweet? Because it's not good. She then went on to say that Viola Davis has never experienced discrimination, saying that Harriet Tubman was an unfair comparison. While it's true that women in a variety of fields encounter sexism, it's naive to ignore how the experiences of women of color are different from white women. Viola's win was not about all women, and that's okay, because for women of color, our experiences are influenced by sexism and by racism. Can I get a what for intersectionality? In order to advocate for women, you have to remember that there are many different types of women who face different challenges and systems of oppression because of who they are. And yes, that even includes rich and famous Hollywood actresses. There's no denying that Viola has achieved tremendous success over the course of her career, but she's also had to deal with negative comments about her natural hair, press labeling her an unconventional beauty, and shaking off the angry black woman stereotype. Not to mention, overcoming adversity doesn't mean that those challenges suddenly go away for everyone else. Racism in Hollywood and outside of Hollywood still exists. Too often, women of color in film and TV are stuck with one-dimensional roles that are super sexy, angry, vapid, or just plain underdeveloped. And while some could argue that it's just entertainment, we've seen time and again that the media plays a role in how we see ourselves and in how the world sees us. And look, TV and film is not just about awards, but seeing people that look like you succeed and be recognized for their work is really important. So what's it gonna take to see more diverse actresses and actors winning Academy Awards? Well, like Viola said in her speech, it's all about opportunity. And historically, the people who get the opportunity to write, direct, and produce are white guys. So in order for Hollywood to change, the people behind the camera need to change too.
Filmmaker Spike Lee and actress Jada Pinkett Smith say they're not going to go to the Oscars next month after an all-white list of nominees was announced for the major categories for a second year in a row. Joining us now to weigh in, actress and Fox News contributor Stacey Dash. Stacey, good morning to you.
Good morning.
Well, what do you think about this?
I think it's ludicrous.
Why?
Because we have to make up our minds. Either we want to have segregation or integration. And if we don't want segregation, then we need to get rid of channels like BET and the BET Awards and the Image Awards, where you're only awarded if you're black. If it were the other way around, we would be up in arms. It's a double standard.
So you say there shouldn't be a BET channel?
No, I don't think so, no. Just like there shouldn't be a Black History Month. You know, we're Americans, period. That's it.
Are you saying there shouldn't be a Black History Month because there isn't a White History Month?
Exactly.
Who's that? Who's Stacey Dash? Is she like related to Dame Dash? Was she on Rockefeller? Yeah, I mean, it's like why there's a need for the Birth of a Nation and why there's a need for the Country Music Awards and the Alma Awards. If you don't see yourself reflected in mainstream awards, you tend to create your own. And until there's no longer a need for that, I celebrate the Almas in the same way I celebrate the Country Music Awards and the same way I celebrate the BET Awards and the Image Awards, which, you know, we'll all be at in a couple weeks. Yeah, I mean, the more that we focus on inclusion and a true representation of this country, I think that crazy lady will have less to say.
Hey, honey.
Yeah?
I think your acceptance letter is
Oh my
here.
God! Okay, Mom, can you snap this for me?
Oh, yes.
Okay.
Yes. Okay. You ready? Yes.
Dear Ashley, we regret to inform you that we will not be offering you a place at Elite University. Now, I know this is tough and probably the first time you've ever had your dreams crushed, but we had a particularly strong applicant pool this year.
You were rejected?
Yes, I was rejected. You know, I bet I would have gotten in if I was a minority.
I'm going to call that admissions office right now.
Okay, go.
Okay.
Also, Ashley, I would encourage you not to blame affirmative action for your rejection. Why? Meet Jennifer. Sure, she had a lower SAT score than you, but she built an app that allowed people in Mali to crowdsource clean water. Of course, she was getting in. And Ben, his grades were a little better than yours, but he's one of the top 3 oboists in the country. Top schools need top orchestras, Ashley. And Mia, she might be a goddamn genius and wrote her essay about inflation and scalar fields. I don't even know what that means. Do you, Ashley?
No.
And sure, maybe it seems like I cherry-picked some examples, but you know who still makes up the majority of our 2020 class? White kids. You heard me. It's not that we're rejecting white people from our school, it's that we're rejecting you, Ashley Smith. Yes, you. You got average grades, you were a mediocre athlete, and your volunteering at the senior citizens home was a very transparent attempt at resume padding. Also, let's not forget that we reject thousands of people of color too. Like Marcus. He thought he was definitely getting in because he was black. Nope, that's just not how affirmative action works. You and Marcus may as well have lit that $75 application fee on fire. And if you really want to get upset, meet Bradley. He's a legacy. Bradley got in because his dad and grandpa both went to school here, even though he had the same GPA as you and was just as average.
Congratulations!
Legacy admission rates are upwards of 40% at elite universities. But, unlike legacies, affirmative action isn't about getting unqualified kids into schools. It's about making sure deserving students of all backgrounds get access to an education they might not get otherwise. We wish you the best of luck on your future endeavors.
Hey, honey.
Yeah?
Your Uncle Mark just bought a building for the university.
Correction. We are pleased to announce your acceptance into the class of 2020. You earned it.
Oh my God! I totally deserve this.